Buckle up, everybody. We're diving deep today.
Deep into the world of driverless cars.
You know it is the Driverless Journal.
And we're thrilled to have you along for the ride.
As always, before we hit the gas, make sure you're subscribed.
Yeah, and don't forget to hit that notification bell.
So you never miss our latest deep dives.
Today, we're taking a look at Waymo's expansion into Miami.
Yeah, you heard that right, Miami.
We've got a fascinating piece from Auto123.com.
Called Waymo Autonomous Taxis, coming soon to Miami.
Published just a few days ago on December 10th, 2024.
The question is, why Miami?
And what does this move signal about the future of driverless technology?
Let's find out.
Yeah.
So this isn't Waymo's first foray into autonomous ride-hailing.
Not at all. They've already set up shop in a few other cities.
Right, like Phoenix, San Francisco,
Los Angeles.
making Miami their fifth city.
Exactly, 5 cities and counting.
This steady expansion really shows their strategic approach,
I agree. It's not about a mad dash.
but a calculated rollout.
They're choosing their locations carefully.
And the Auto 123 article specifically calls Miami an emerging center for technological innovation.
Miami's really been embracing new tech.
Yeah, it's not just about the beaches and nightlife anymore.
So it makes sense why Waymo would see it as a prime spot for their driverless taxis?
It's like a perfect testing ground.
I mean, just picture it.
Waymo's Jaguar I-Paces cruising down Ocean Drive.
Navigating the streets of South Beach.
And those tests are set to begin in early 2025.
But hold on a second. Think about Miami's weather.
Oh, yeah, the sunshine?
Well, the sunshine and the sudden downpours.
True. Those Florida storms can be intense.
So Waymo's engineers had to make sure their tech can handle it.
I hadn't thought about that. That adds another layer of complexity to the testing.
For sure. Heavy rain can mess with the sensors and cameras.
Right, the ones those self-driving cars rely on.
They have to make sure everything works perfectly, even in a downpour.
I bet that's no easy feat.
It's a testament to their engineering prowess.
Speaking of challenges, let's not forget that rolling out a service like this takes a whole lot more than just self-driving cars.
You're absolutely right. You need charging infrastructure.
Fleet management,
Right.
maintenance,
Yeah.
customer support, the whole 9 yards.
It's a huge undertaking.
And that's where their partnership with Moove comes into play.
Ah, yes, Moove, a mobility solutions company.
They're going to be helping Waymo with all those operational aspects.
The article highlighted this collaboration.
Smart move, if you ask me.
Absolutely. It allows Waymo to focus on what they do best,
Which is developing that cutting-edge self-driving technology.
while Moove handles the logistics.
It's all about teamwork.
Partnerships are essential in this industry.
And it seems like Waymo has another key partner on board.
You mean the mayor of Miami?
Exactly. The article mentions that Mayor Francis X. Suarez is fully on board.
He seems pretty excited about Waymo coming to town.
And who can blame him? He's emphasizing the potential benefits.
Increased safety on the roads.
Reduce traffic congestion.
And a more sustainable transportation system.
It's a win-win for Miami.
And it's a really positive sign for the future of autonomous vehicles.
You know, it shows that city leaders are starting to see the value,
That they're ready to embrace this new technology.
which is crucial for its success.
But hold on a second, there might be another player entering the game soon.
You mean Tesla?
You got it! The article hints that Elon Musk's growing influence in Washington could shake things up.
And that Tesla might make a big move into the robotaxi market.
That would definitely be a game changer.
I mean, Tesla already has a huge following.
And a reputation for pushing the envelope.
Not to mention they have a ton of cars on the road already.
With autopilot and full self-driving features,
So if they decide to go all in on robotaxis, watch out.
they could become a major competitor very quickly.
It's going to be fascinating to see how this all unfolds.
Imagine Miami streets with Waymos and Teslas cruising around driverless.
That's a future I'm eager to see.
It's going to be a wild ride.
Absolutely.
This whole Miami thing could really shake things up in the industry, you know?
What do you mean?
Well, if Waymo succeeds in Miami, other companies might get bolder.
Ah, I see what you're saying, like a domino effect.
Yeah, exactly. We might see autonomous vehicles popping up in more cities.
Sooner than we expected.
Right. It's like Miami's a test case.
A proving ground.
If it works there, it could signal that this technology is ready for the big leagues.
Makes sense. But we can't ignore the potential downsides either.
Of course, some people are worried about jobs.
Yeah, especially those in the transportation sector.
It's a valid concern. The shift to autonomous vehicles will disrupt some industries.
And some jobs will be lost.
It's crucial to manage that transition carefully,
We need to make sure people have opportunities to adapt.
to find new roles in this new economy.
Couldn't agree more. We can't just focus on the tech.
Right. We have to think about the human impact, too.
We need to make sure these autonomous vehicles are accessible to everyone,
Absolutely. It's about creating a more inclusive transportation system.
not just a more advanced one.
And that means addressing potential biases in the technology itself.
You're talking about the algorithms.
Yes. We need to make sure those algorithms are fair.
So everyone benefits equally.
Exactly. It's not just about the cars themselves.
It's about the whole ecosystem.
Regulations, infrastructure, the social impact.
It's a complex system.
And it needs a holistic approach to succeed.
You know, this whole conversation reminds me of something I read about Miami becoming a smart city.
Oh, yeah. Miami's been investing in a lot of tech-driven initiatives.
Smart traffic management, data-driven infrastructure projects.
And Waymo's expansion fits right in with that.
It's like another piece of the puzzle.
Autonomous vehicles can really help make cities more efficient.
More sustainable, and just better places to live.
Absolutely. So what do you see as the biggest potential benefits of driverless taxis in Miami?
Well, from a practical standpoint,
Mhm.
I think they could really ease traffic congestion.
And make commutes less stressful.
No more road rage. Imagine that.
Fewer cars on the road would also mean less pollution.
Which is good for the environment and for everyone's health.
And think about people who can't drive themselves.
Seniors, people with disabilities.
Autonomous vehicles could give them a whole new level of freedom
That's a great point. It's about expanding access.
and creating a more inclusive transportation system.
And let's not forget about safety.
Right. Human error causes so many accidents.
Autonomous vehicles could potentially save lives.
So we're talking fewer accidents, less traffic, cleaner air, greater accessibility.
That's a pretty compelling case.
It is, but there are still hurdles to overcome.
Both technical and social. You know, we've talked a lot about benefits and challenges, but what about the competition?
Yes, the competitive landscape.
We mentioned Tesla, but there are other companies working on self-driving tech.
Cruise is already operating a driverless taxi service in San Francisco.
And then you have companies like Amazon and Apple investing heavily in this space.
It's definitely a competitive field.
But there's also a lot of collaboration happening,
Companies are sharing data and working on industry standards.
which is important for the long-term success of the industry.
It's not just about who wins, but about building a safe and reliable system for everyone.
So how do you think this competitive landscape will evolve in the next few years?
That's a tough question. I think we'll see some companies emerge as major players,
Like Waymo and Cruise,
but we'll also see smaller companies finding their niche.
maybe focusing on delivery services or trucking.
Or public transportation. There's room for different approaches.
So it's not necessarily a winner-take-all situation.
Exactly. And I think that diversity is a good thing for the industry,
It drives innovation and competition.
which leads to better products and services for consumers.
This has been really insightful. But before we move on, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier.
About the social and ethical implications of autonomous vehicles.
Yes, those are crucial considerations. I'm particularly interested in the question of liability.
Yes. If a driverless taxi has an accident, who's responsible?
Is it the passenger, the company, the software developer?
It's a tricky legal question.
And there's no easy answer.
We need clear legal frameworks and regulations to address liability in this new era.
And it's not just about liability.
We have to think about data privacy, cybersecurity, algorithmic bias.
These are all important issues.
We need to address them proactively.
It feels like we're on the verge of a major shift.
But there's still a lot of questions to answer.
And challenges to overcome.
But I'm optimistic that we can navigate these challenges.
And create a future where autonomous vehicles truly benefit humanity.
I agree. It's an exciting time to be following this technology.